Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection video. We'll be covering today, there's really no what is style today, but I'll talk about that in a second. What I have today is Greenport Black Duck Porter, okay, here from Greenport Brewery, which is out here literally in Greenport, Long Island on the North Fork. Greenport's a beautiful town just shy of Orient Point on the North Fork of Long Island. They've been brewing this beer for a while. I've had this once before. It's probably been a good 3 years maybe. I think the last time I actually had it was up here in when I was visiting Lake Placid. I was kind of shocked when I was sitting behind the bar and I saw a Greenport Brewery tap handle there. So it's out here on Long Island. They do have a brew room in Peconic, which is just before, I believe it's Peconic, but it's before you get out to Greenport. It's a bigger brew room. But the original one is literally in Greenport on Long Island. And, I've had good memories of this particular beer. So remember with porter, this is not a what is video. I have plenty of other videos discussing the porter style of beer, starting, in the 1700s and the stout style and things like that. So if you're interested in more history, seek out those videos either under beer styles or beer dissection when I go into porter style of beer. I think even my Irish stout video does that. Okay, so this one's chiming in. It's a 16-ounce can, which again, was not uncommon for a lot of microbreweries these days. It's at 4.7% alcohol. So on the lower end for us American style beers, we always seem to add a lot more alcohol to it, or at least more grains to make more alcohol in the beers. So pretty reasonable, reasonably sessionable, I guess you would say. They call it a storied porter. Not sure what they mean by that. I guess maybe historically they've been, or they've had maybe won some awards with this. But so, and it says cocoa, roasty, and deep. So I'm expecting that we're going to get some chocolate flavors and coffee flavors from this beer. All right, so like usual, I recommend, Tula pint glasses, Nonic pint, Tula pint, anything like that to pour it into. Okay, so Black Duck Porter. And definitely a brewery to check out. They brew a lot of other very good styles of beer. I call them local. They're not as local as my Richesfield Brewery, West Hampton Beach Brewing Company, Long Island Farm, and some of the Riverhead located ones, but being on Long Island compared to, depending on where you're watching this video from, it's pretty local for me. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open. Okay. So, I'm expecting a dark amber, light brown to not quite black beer. I'm looking more brownish, I'm expecting. Sometimes there's going to be some reddish hues to it. All right. So here we go. Okay. Not much head, though, to it. The head didn't really stay too much. I'm going to, probably before I log off, actually, let me pour a little bit right now. Just see. Usually, these days, I'm pouring things very aggressively. If you watched more than one of my videos, I talk about it. But we really are not getting really good head retention here at all. And this is definitely a clean glass. Sometimes if you don't have a beer clean glass and there's some residue on your glass, you won't hold the head retention. The other thing I'm wondering, and I said it in one of my other porter videos. I did a video called Deep Root from Maryland. It was a chocolate porter. They use cocoa nibs. If you use regular chocolate in these porters, and this one doesn't say it's a chocolate porter, it just says they do put cocoa there. If they happen to use real chocolate, because of the fats in there, sometimes the head retention won't be very good. But if you work for them and you're saying, no, you didn't use real chocolate, then you can always chime in below, okay? Post now or forever hold your peace, okay? So I'm actually getting a little a reddish hue. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Kind of a little reddish hue at the bottom of the glass. So it's definitely more like a dark amber to a light brown color. Head definitely is gone already, okay? And we want the head for what reasons? If you remember, we like it for the aromatics of either the hops or whatever's malt, aromas and things like that. So let's take a sniff of this aroma. you're definitely getting there's definitely a chocolate aroma to it, but it's not like a bittersweet chocolate. It's almost like a rum, like soaked chocolate to it, but it's a very low alcohol beer for the style. So you get chocolate, light roast, some plum kind of aromas, like almost like a rum, like soaked plum type of thing, like kind of an alcoholic kind of fruit smell. Dark fruit, maybe like a light raisin for some of the dark fruit flavors or aromas. Slight herbal, probably hop aroma. Bread crust, toasty, light caramel, toffee aromas. But yeah, and the chocolate though is a little bit, I don't want to call it medicinal, but it has like it was spiked with something, like something with a different type of alcohol. Okay, so again, take a look at it. Let me take a swig of this. Ooh. There's something astringent with it. I know the carbonation kind of hits you and fleets away quickly, and it leaves me with this emptiness. Almost like it was okay, it was canned on July of 22. So, we are roughly 5 months old from canning date. Because I'm getting something very can't quite make it out. I'm getting a little bit of a lactic kind of character to it. Maybe even slightly oxidized. Being 5 months, it's usually stored a lot of times on these warm shelves, locally here all the time. So I'm definitely getting like an acetic character, lactic character. Which is not very pleasant. Has exactly like an acetic, like it was infected or something with lactobacillus or Cetobacter or something like that you get that acetic acid or pediococcus type of stuff. Diacetyl, I don't really get the diacetyl. I'd have to sit here off camera, maybe analyze a little bit deeper. But there's definitely that layman's term kind of twang, acetic, vinegary type of flavor, lactic kind of character, which you would not want in this beer. Now, to be fair, I've had this beer and actually was looking forward to having it. I do have another can in my refrigerator. I'm not going to open it now, but I'm going to try it there. Maybe the batch is just bad, or it's just 5-6 months for this beer. Maybe it wasn't handled very well. Because I actually have enjoyed this beer a lot. And as I brought my story up about Lake Placid, I was probably drinking too many of them. This is really usually a very good beer. I'm not really that impressed with this one tonight, though. And I drink a lot of beers from Greenport. They're usually very good. It's even as it's sitting in the glass, it kind of looks like it's settling down more, like it just doesn't have that liveliness to it. The carbonation's already gone. I've only been filming this roughly, not even 10 minutes. So, you get that on the palate. You do get, that typical light chocolate, toffee, like in the aroma. Mild roast to it. Not as roast as, say, some stouts I've had. But again, I get that acetic character, lactic character in the taste. It's driving me nuts. You get some of the dark fruit like cherry, black currant type of thing, chocolate. But again, a little astringent, probably from the lactic acid maybe I'm getting from this. So I'm not going to slam my fist down and say this thing's definitely contaminated, but it's definitely not tasting like their usual beers. And again, I want to be fair to them because I really enjoy a lot of their beers. This is not the first time I've had this beer. I've had this one, this particular batch may just not be very good, or whoever was handling this at the local beer store may not be doing a good job with it. I don't, you know, so because it is roughly, again, July 22. So we're looking at roughly 5 months, which it's not like off the charts old. I mean, it's a little old for being on Long Island, and the brewery's only 40, 50 miles away. But it's definitely not performing as usual. So if I'm grading this beer tonight, I really got to say this is like a C minus at very best. However, I got it again, to be fair to Greenport, I've had this before, and it's like an A, B plus, A minus level usually. I may put an addendum on this video at the bottom if I taste the other can, or if someone ever chimes into me and says, "Oh no, there was a problem" or whatever. But not as good as the one I just had from Maryland that I just reviewed. So again, I would usually recommend this, guys, Greenport Black Duck Porter. This particular can is not good. And since I've gotten, a buddy of mine got this over the weekend. It's been in the refrigerator only for a few days. So if it got oxidized or spoiled or mishandled at the local beer store, which is very possible, or they just had a bad batch and got some contamination in it, and that can come from cans and things like that. So anyway, guys, typical porter, some chocolate notes, flavors. Once I can see past some of those off flavors that I'm getting, kind of definitely underwhelming right now. So anyway, guys, until the next beer dissection video, have a good one, and I will see you all soon. Take care.